Hi, y'alls.
Thanks for watching.
We are Tahric Finn and Marshall Stamper, Taipei BJJ. And we got a few things that we would like to talk about today.
Bringing you UFC news and recap.
Yeah, the first news is Jon Jones is going to be out of UFC 295, which is very sad. I was looking very forward to that fight. I love watching Jon Jones fight. He's very good.
He's good. Jon Jones, best of all time, in a big comeback. Last year he came back and destroyed Cyril Gane.
Yes.
It was absolutely incredible.
Absolute destruction.
And he was going to come back and fight Stipe Miocic. Stipe Miocic, one of the best heavyweights of all time, longtime champion. He's beat most of the other legends. A bit old man Stipe, but, you know, still a fight that made sense.
Yeah.
Jon Jones, he was just wrestling, you know, he made this motion, which is very common in wrestling as you go for a takedown. Your arm swings wide, you kind of throw him down. He's done this probably 1 billion times in his life, and he comes up, and you have science words for us? His abduction caused the patella.
There was a humerus thrown in there.
The humerus bone and pec tendon. It ripped here. It ripped right here.
Yeah, so his pec got ripped. Very bad injury. Dana White says he's gonna be out for 8 months.
8 months.
Or 8 months in surgery.
Yeah.
Probably gonna be more than that.
It's kind of good news because the fight they got to replace him is it's actually a really cool fight. It's like it actually might be more of an exciting fight than Jon Jones destroying Stipe, which would be beautiful, right? There's a certain beauty in the way Jon Jones just destroys these guys.
Yeah.
But the real fight, man, Tom Aspinall and Sergei Pavlovich, something like that.
Yes.
That's actually like a legit. These guys were destined to be champion at some point, and now one of them will be interim champion. The idea is after Jon Jones heals up, he comes back and fights the winner. So I'm pretty excited about the card still. Just we wish Jon Jones could fight every time.
Yeah, Tom Aspinall, he's a sick grappler.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that I noticed about him. Like he has submission finishes, his positions are excellent, and I love to see when big guys like that become really good at grappling.
Yeah.
Not just wrestling, like his positions and his submissions are very, very impressive. So I think it's going to be a good fight. Also, it's kind of like they're both young.
Yeah.
Whereas Jon
Up and
Jones,
coming.
I think Jon Jones, he's not a old guy by any means, but he has
He's UFC old.
He's UFC old, and he has a lot of fights at the top level. Like he has so many rounds, championship rounds, hard guys. Basically, he's been fighting the best guys for his entire UFC run.
Yeah.
So he's
13
beat up.
years, something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he took off about
3
years before fighting Gane. Was it 2? Was it 2 years before? 2.5 before fighting Gane?
Something like that.
And then and that fight was a year ago now, or almost a year ago. So he's been off and on for a while. He's getting a little bit older.
Yeah.
And, you know, injuries like that can happen as one gets a little bit older.
And what people are saying in the comments, I don't know if this is true, but as guys get more and more jacked, this tendon becomes it's in danger because the muscle's getting huge, the output's getting big, but the tendon's not getting stronger. So some people say this is a powerlifting thing. Some people say it's a steroids thing. I don't know. But unfortunate any way you look at it.
Yeah, it is unfortunate because you don't want to see anybody getting injured in training, but it is hard training. They are wrestling, and wrestling is, I'm trying to get this straight. It's bothering me.
Yeah.
Yeah, wrestling is a rough game.
It's too hard.
It's a very rough, wrestling's super rough.
Super rough.
And it looked kind of innocuous when you watch the video, but
Takedown.
if you put your arm in this position, you could kind of feel the stretch. And anytime you're stretching muscle and you're in a bad position, exerting in speed, and he was wrestling a big guy as well.
Yeah.
So use and age probably all added up to this. And I hope Jones gets well. He's going to be doing the surgery. 8 months, I think, sounds optimistic.
Oh, really?
I think so. I mean, I don't know anything about this. But
No more USADA, though. Get it up to 3 months.
It could be. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that much about this, but getting a muscle reattached, that sounds like a long rehab process.
Yeah.
And I don't think he'll be back in the ring in 8 months.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be back to training in 8 months.
Yeah.
So.
And fight Sergei Pavlovich for his return.
Yeah.
The rumor is, I don't know if this is true, all the top guys are ducking Sergei because we couldn't find a good source on this, but it's reasonable that if Jon Jones pulls out, Stipe could be offered to fight for the interim. There's no word on this, so the theory is, the comments are saying, Stipe's ducking Sergei, which makes sense, man. Sergei's terrifying.
Yeah,
He's knocking out everybody.
I don't see why.
The heavyweight monster.
I don't see why Stipe would want to fight anybody but Jones.
Yeah.
It doesn't really, like, I think,
Old man
what is
Stipe.
Stipe? Stipe is 40 years old.
Maybe
Let
more.
me see.
Yeah, he's old.
Let me check this.
He does interviews with his reading glasses.
Yeah, he puts on old
not even trying to
firefighter,
hide
and
it.
he's an American hero. You don't want to put the young lion to beat up the old firefighter.
The Russian monster.
Yeah, 41 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 41 years
And
old.
he's done it all. He's a certified legend.
Yeah, he's
He has
done it
nothing
all.
to prove.
Yeah.
And so to throw him in there with Sergei would be, it's kind of rude.
longest winning streak as longest winning streak as a heavyweight, which is crazy that heavyweight winning streaks are like 5 fights,
Oh, yeah,
6
yeah,
fights. Yeah. Longest streak as a heavyweight champion. Let me see.
He beat Francis Ngannou.
Yeah. So he's right now number 3 in the heavyweight rankings. I don't know. I don't want to see Stipe fight a young lion. Out of respect for Stipe. And these are new young guys coming up. And if you do watch UFC, you know that heavyweight fights generally don't last. Usually somebody gets blasted to the moon. It's the most violent division for the first round.
The first 10 seconds are very, very tense.
For the first round.
But these guys, they should be a good one. Sergei and Tom Aspinall. Also in the main event, used to be co-main event, now it's main event. Jiri Prochazka.
The guy with the
Samurai Man.
Yes.
Against Alex Pereira. One of the most exciting fights I could ever dream up. This is a real jungle versus forest man fight.
Another injury story because Jiri Prochazka, he had to give up his belt for injury. Jamal Hill, well, no. Did Jamal Hill take the belt for him, or did he take the vacated belt?
Jamal took vacate.
He took the vacated belt, and then Jamal Hill tore his Achilles, and then now he had to vacate the belt. So because the belt has been doubly vacated, now Jiri has another chance at the belt. So his first fight coming back will be for the belt against Alexander Pereira.
That's a great fight.
Who's moving up in division. They both like to strike. They both like to bang. Yeah. Jiri has a very strange style
The
too.
strangest.
It's a very strange style.
He learned it fighting trees. All his training footage. He's just in the forest.
Yeah, he has a very strange style. He fights like a character in a video game. He kind of has his hands down and he just
blocks punches with his forehead.
Yeah. Very Street Fighter-esque. Like the one character that has a very distinct style. Speaking of heavyweights, completely off topic, Francis Ngannou, Tyson Fury in Saudi Arabia this weekend. What do you guys
what's up
think?
with that?
Does Francis have a chance?
Yeah.
Does he have a chance?
His first boxing fight against like
What-
arguably one of the best ever.
Yeah, one of the
Tyson
best. One of the
Fury.
best. One of the best heavyweights ever.
Yeah.
And Francis is gonna fight for the first time.
There's one funny narrative in this fight because Francis Ngannou, he got Mike Tyson training him, and Tyson Fury's like butthurt by this because Tyson Fury is named after Mike Tyson.
Yes, yes.
It's like his hero. It's everybody's hero, but
Yes.
like Tyson Fury has his
He
name.
carries his name.
He carries his name, and now he has to like, he's fighting against him in a funny way. And another weird part is Tyson Fury has a fight after this booked, which I've never heard of that. Like a fighter having 2 fights booked. Like
Yes.
in jiu-jitsu, this happens all the time because there's not brain damage at stake.
Yeah.
But for a heavyweight boxer to be promoting 2 fights at once is crazy. Because
Yeah.
if Ngannou lands one big punch, Tyson Fury gets concussed. He has to take 6 months off. That's a real
it's kind
possibility.
of. If I'm in his opponent, it's disrespectful, but it
Super.
doesn't really matter. Maybe, but it also goes to show that Fury is so confident. He came to the first press conference super overweight. He just doesn't care.
What a character.
So Alexander Usyk is going to be his next fight in December. Like, that's next month.
Like, this is the warm-up.
Yeah. So he has a
Very
fight
rude.
booked right after.
Very rude.
Yeah. And which goes. Let's move on to the last UFC. Crazy event. UFC was it 294?
294.
UFC 294. Since we're talking about next fights being booked, if you saw the Mackachev versus Volkanovski fight, crazy fight, completely unexpected result. We were expecting Mackachev to out wrestle. I was like this. First of all my picks came true. I didn't bet any money, but
You just bet all Muslims.
I just bet all Muslims.
Muslims with beards.
Yes, all Muslims, Russian Muslim, double
Safe
that. But yeah, it all came true, but I wasn't expecting the head kick knockout,
Yeah.
which
incredible.
nobody ever really expects that. But yeah,
First round, clean head kick. Couple of punches that I thought were unnecessary. Volkanovski kind of crumbles to the ground, kind of blocking, but not really. I thought all those punches to the ground are unnecessary, but they happen. It's reasonable for Islam, just winning there storming. Stopped the fight first round. Very big cut on Volkanovski. And what you're getting at is right after the fight, Volkanovski's calling for his next fight against Ilya Tapura. I don't want to say any of these guys' names, man.
Ilya Tapura.
These names are getting harder.
Yeah, because Volkanovski, he still holds a belt. He didn't.
Featherweight title.
He was not. His belt was not at risk. Only Makhachev's belt was at risk.
Yeah.
But he still holds his belt, so he wants to go back and defend his title. He's talking about January, but a little bit soon after a knockout like that. He wasn't knocked out cold, clean, put to sleep, but he was right there.
Yeah, and I'm sure the UFC has strict protocol on this, running through tests. Hope it's not just the follow the light test. They have, like brain scans and things.
You feel okay?
Yeah. Where are you?
Yeah,
That's like a one. But Volkanovski, he did have some worrying words. He was talking about how he hates just sitting at home without a fight booked. He can't handle it. The phrase he kept saying was "doing me head in,"
Yes.
which is Australian for like mental health issue. And so it's hard to tell with a tough guy like this how serious to take it. But I think the fact that he said anything at all and he got emotional at the press conference, that could be a sign of something really, really serious, And some people are dismissive, like, oh, he's the champion, he's rich, his life is fine. But we can all appreciate that a guy whose life is so successful, he's riding these incredible highs, and he's not like a party drug guy, which is how some guys keep that going.
Yeah.
And so he has these incredible successes, and he's just at home. And that balance is hard to handle. We've seen so many champions go off the rails at this time, You know, Jon Jones is the classic. He did so much.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's the classic.
Yeah,
He went way off the
Yeah,
rails.
bought tigers and
Bought
lions.
tigers.
And
He's
did
doing
all the
cocaine
drugs
before fights. Yeah, that's Mike Tyson. Like, oh, did you prepare for this fight? I got hookers and cocaine. And it's like, all right, man. And so Volkanovski, he's kind of in that spot. And plus you get head damage. And I worry about this guy a little bit now. I worry about every guy's, but he spoke about something that could be serious.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hard to tell how much.
If need be, he need take that break. But I guess we'll see how the powers line that all up. But yeah, he's still champion, and he feels the need to defend his belt, which makes sense.
Yeah.
He doesn't want his title to be vacated because he's been too inactive. And I doubt that the UFC was expecting that he was going to get knocked out in this fight. Or
Yeah,
anybody,
of course.
You know,
Yeah.
It was not an expected result. The co-main, Kumaru Usman lost the fight, but it actually turned out to be a much closer fight than I expected.
Yeah.
There are some people that are arguing that Kumaru should have won the fight. It depends on whether you gave
I don't think so.
the first round.
Was dominant.
If you gave the first round a 10-8,
Which I
then
did.
he definitely loses the fight. But it was a majority decision. It was not a
Yeah.
unanimous decision.
Yeah, which really surprised me.
The next two rounds were much closer.
Yeah.
I still gave it to Chimaev, but I would have not been happy if the judge's decision was that Chimaev lost,
That'd
because
been crazy.
I didn't think that
absolutely
Usman won the
dominant.
fight, but it was not a super dominant victory. The first round was pure domination. The first round, Chimaev took him down immediately, double leg, got his back, and Usman is such an excellent grappler, such a good wrestler. The fact that Chimaev just took him down with such little effort was quite incredible.
Yeah. Before this, Usman had been taken out one time ever by Leon Edwards, which is also a crazy moment.
And it was a trip.
And then in this one, Khamzat, in my mind, runs across the octagon, takes a huge shot, and just smokes him.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I was watching with my girl, and she's seen some fights, but doesn't know too much. And she said, "Oh, why doesn't everyone just do that?" They want to. They would like to.
It's a good idea.
Nobody else can do that.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. Next round, Usman kind of tried to do it, and it's not going to work.
Yeah, it's very crazy to see a wrestler get dominated like that, which was the same way that Usman took the belt from Woodley. Was that same scenario where Woodley was always the dominant wrestler, and Usman just came and just made him look like he didn't belong there. Like he just took that belt.
Yeah, took his soul.
Yeah, he took his soul in that fight.
Right.
Yeah.
I
That was a rough
think
fight to
Usman kept his soul in this one. There was a moment where I thought maybe it was gone, because like if he got dominated in the first and came out in the second, like but that wasn't the case. You know, Usman, the legend, came out still fired up, still believed in himself,
champion.
kind of thrived on it.
Yeah,
you know,
he regrouped.
regrouped.
I love watching Usman walk back to his corner. Like even after getting beat on, even in the first Leon Edwards fight, he gets up and he does like a like kind of like it's almost like he's mentally shaking off what just happened, and then he just comes out in the next round. And the first round didn't happen. He just goes back to work.
Yeah,
I love Usman for doing that. Chimaev got a brown belt after that fight, but he didn't seem to care.
Didn't acknowledge it at all.
He didn't acknowledge it at all. After the match, his coaches threw a brown belt over his shoulder. He didn't even look at it. Yeah. He was doing a speech about peace in the Middle East, which was a beautiful speech.
Yeah. Kind of caught me off guard. All his other speeches are, "I kill everybody."
Yes.
Everybody. And then this one, he's didn't even really want to talk about the fight, which was it was pretty touching. It was nice to see.
I think he won a lot of fans with that speech. just of universal peace. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if you're Palestinian or Israeli. Just
Yeah.
want peace. I don't want any more babies dying. And
Yeah.
who can argue with that?
Yeah.
You want babies dying?
No, I'm not. Some people think that I'm pro babies dying.
Yeah.
And I've never taken that stance.
I've heard that about you.
People say that, but let me dismiss the rumors.
Yes. Excellent grappling by Chimaev. So he deserves that brown belt for sure. I'm sure he's smoking black belts at his gym.
Yeah.
Left and right.
He'd be a great guy to see like in a pure jiu-jitsu tournament.
Yeah.
Like, you know, his UFC career is going well enough right now, it wouldn't really make sense. But if he entered like ADCC trials, I'd be really curious. Like, he might...
See how far he goes.
Yeah, he might destroy everybody. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his body lock, his just the way that he locks around the legs, and high-level guys can't stop it from happening.
Yeah.
They know that
What are
it's
you gonna
coming.
do?
Everybody knows that Chimaev is going to come and double leg you, and nobody stops it.
Yeah.
It's
They try.
yeah.
They're doing their best.
Gilbert did the best.
Yeah.
Gilbert did the best at that, but yeah, nobody seems to be able to do anything. The Magomed Ankalaev fight versus Johnny Walker, that was
So
a very strange one as well. It was the referee stoppage. There was an illegal knee. Johnny Walker was down, one knee, and Magomed blasted him in the face with a knee. Possible disqualification, but it was not called a disqualification. It was called a no contest. And there's some debate over whether it should have just been a disqualification. I think a disqualification could have been reasonable, but whatever. And then there was one more, I don't know which fight that was, where the guy gets kicked in the balls. And that turned out to be a no contest too.
Couldn't fight anymore.
Yeah, couldn't fight anymore after getting blasted in the balls. And I think it was bad enough that what's her name? Is it Megan O'Leary, the ring?
The journalist.
Yeah, the journalist. She mentioned something like he had thrown up backstage after. So imagine a kick like that to the nuts.
With a cup on too.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So that was that UFC. Great event. I was so excited.
Pretty cool.
Also, it happened for us. It's the main card started at about 2 a.m. And I thought, no, I'm not gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch it in the morning. And I started watching, and I just stayed up for the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah,
You watched it live?
I watched it all live. I started watching it, and I thought, oh, I'll go to sleep after this round, and I just stayed up and I watched all of it. So yeah, it was an excellent.
There's that one prelim fight where the guy is like, he's kind of behind. He starts barking. You see this guy?
I missed that. I missed the barking.
Starts barking. The guy's like, ah. It was a pretty competitive fight.
Yeah.
And one dude starts barking. The other guy's like, oh no. That was wild. I've never seen that before.
It was a great.
Like, why are you barking? He's like, America, man.
That is true.
Starts chanting USA at this guy.
That's a good reason. I like his reasoning. And the last thing that we have as far as news is Jake Paul has agreed to an MMA fight with Nate Diaz. What do you think?
I think this is not
Do you think it
news.
happens? Do you think it ever happens?
I don't know, man. Like every Jake Paul news is like, it feels like it's something that people expect me to care about, or I should have some invested interest, and I just don't. Like, if it happens, that's interesting. You know, I'd be curious in the result, but I'm gonna spend zero time getting excited about it, or getting upset about it, or talking online about it, or, you know, who cares, man? Because even the article we read says that he has a different boxing opponent in December.
Yes.
And then after that, he's interested in.
He's interested in, and they put accepted in quotation marks.
Yeah, they say officially accepted. What does that mean? Like,
I don't know. Why isn't officially
he
in
says
quotation marks?
he says he's down. Like,
Yeah,
who cares?
it's
Like,
officially. So,
you know, Nate Diaz is always exciting. Always support Nate Diaz. Whatever he wants to do, You know, I hope he's all right. I hope his head's okay. I hope his money's all right. Jake Paul, who cares? You know.
I think it would just be a great opportunity for Nate Diaz to make some money.
Sure, make more money.
It would be very good, and they had a good. Their boxing match was fairly close, and I think that Nate would probably just absolutely smoke him in an MMA match.
Yeah.
Which would be good to see if it ever happened. Which is why I think it will never happen.
If it's real, like.
Yeah, that's why I think it.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting for.
Terrible idea for Jake.
I'm still waiting for the Elon Musk versus
Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg. That's also never going to happen.
I'm waiting for Marshall Stamper versus Mark Zuckerberg.
I think that's more likely. Elon Musk is he's well into being a middle-aged man, an overweight middle-aged man. I didn't think that fight was ever going to happen, but it was fun to talk about.
Yeah, it's a fun idea.
Yeah, it's a fun idea. Cool. You want to choke each other?
Sure. Got some dates to plug first. Rubber Guard, we're doing it again in Taipei, November 18th. Next weekend, the weekend after that, November 26th, I'm in Kaohsiung, going over some seated guard variations, shin to shin wrestle ups, shin to shin into leg locks, and Kiss of the Dragon. You know Kiss of the Dragon? Sexiest name of any move. Kiss of the Dragon. Kaohsiung, I'll be there. Send me a message if you want details. Come, let's party. Tomorrow I'm in Elon too, but who the fuck's coming to Elon? Anyone coming to Elon tomorrow? If you want to, message me.
Cool. I don't have anything else.
You're saying some back control?
We're gonna do some back control. We did this drill at Geek Base on Wednesday. Something that we used to do a lot of. These EBI starts, spider web and back control. When we trained in the solarium, we used to train this all the time, but we haven't done it in a while. So I figure it's good to do.
Sure. And I got two tricks that I do. One on the top, one on the bottom. I can share them with you guys.
You want to share them?
Sure.
Right now? Go ahead. Do you need me?
Yeah.
Is the mic gonna muffle? Let's see. Try it.
It should be okay. You can play it loose. So when we start on the back, the way we do these rounds is seatbelt, chin on the shoulder, and we encourage this guy to get two hands on the choking arm. So as we're in this position, this hand is not my concern. I can still choke him if he has this hand controlled, but I need to get this one off. So here's the best way that I know about to get this hand off. I do this to everybody every single time. As I come in and try not to touch his microphone. Very important when you do jiu-jitsu, not to touch his microphone. And we call this, may I help you? So my hand makes this motion, may I help you? And my wrist goes exactly onto his wrist. And I have to try to connect my hand. Sometimes it's not so easy, right? Sometimes we go fingertips, S grip, gable grip. And if I can get gable grip, and I make this little wrist lock motion, I can grab his hand and push it off. And I come across to his tricep. So you guys can already see, this is way closer to a choke, and he has very little defense. And from here, it's pretty easy. Take him down. You can body triangle or just leave this leg here and choke. This may I help you. I don't know anybody who has a good counter for it as he's coming in. So there's one more time. Just coming through, wrist to wrist. May I help you? Connect your hands however you can. And you just want this little bit of hand exposed so you can grab it and push it away. And inch my fingers across to his tricep. And from here, in my mind, he's already dead. Come down. So many options with the legs, not super important. You can even go gable grip. Dead. I do that to everybody every single time. Not much they can do. You felt this before?
Yes. we've done videos about this. Let's do it.
The sun's coming out.
Sun's coming up, rain's going.
Nice day.
A nice cloudy day in Taipei.
Os.
All warmed up? Go.
Got you think about that hand, huh? I think other people can do that.
Do what?
Like, sneaky push. Legs put that way.
That's so many. No.
Huh?
I can't get my feet to my ass.
Yeah. You can't use your foot to push off my foot, right?
No.
Okay. Anytime.
Two fans are not here today. Sad.
Sad.
Where are you guys? You two guys. Where'd you go?
You're okay.
You're on dates. Hot dates, maybe. Oh, yeah, I'm on your back.
Alright. Let's keep it going.
let's go till armbar and mount. Okay. Must regard. Or side mount.
Yeah, you can squeeze and do nothing.
I don't like this whole thing. Yeah, I don't think I've ever tapped to just the. I've never tapped to the squeeze. It's one of my principles in life.
Such hard training. Oh, I tried hitchhike around Kua. Oh my god. And I'm like, ah.
He got me into a mounted triangle. It was so tight. Like, did I fall asleep? I'm not sure.
Really?
It was so fast. Yeah. I didn't think I didn't sleep, but it was very fast.
One snore.
I tried that on Blue a few times, just the straight across, and I never could. He's so strong. It's too thick. Going?
Sure. That's good.
Okay. Yeah. So good. So cool.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
You can do it.
All done. Thank you. We're all finished. Taipei BJJ on YouTube. Marshall Stamper Tahric Finn. Thank you. Whoosh.